I'm going to go ahead and assume that I can be heard now. I hope so. I apologize to everybody that was there. I was unmuted in Discord, and yet, well, whatever. So anyways, here I am, and how is everybody doing? My name is Drumboardist, and I came to play. So, this is Starwish. This game, it's not on a console. If you've been looking for it on the Nintendo whatever, you're not going to find it. This is a game. This is a web game. It is a Flash game. I'm playing it on Congregate, but it has been on Congregate, it's been on Armor Games, it's been on Newgrounds, and a couple of other locations. I can't remember what they are right off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure they're all the hacked versions of the game, so you don't want to bother with it. As you can see, clearly it is a shooter. It is an RPG shooter. If you notice that brief section where I was dumping stats into things, which actually play a very, very important part into everything that is happening right now. Maybe you won't see it right this second, but you will, and I'll swear at it a lot, or at least I'll try to curtail the swearing at it a lot. And as a sidebar, if you also hear my cat in the background, there's a reason for it, and he's probably mad at me for, I don't know, something. So, let's run down the basics. It's a shooter, it's an RPG, and it's a visual novel. It's a great game that I enjoy a lot, and I really feel like it needs to get a little bit more love than a lot of people are willing to give it. Although, to be fair, it has over 2 million plays on Congregate alone, so I'm going to go ahead and say that's probably fine in terms of visibility, but we can clearly bump up those numbers. Those are rookie numbers, folks. So Starwish involves, you know, the evil Federation that has grown too big and powerful and, I don't know, what's the words I'm looking for? Not necessarily evil, but they're, you know, people that do bad things to everybody else. I don't know, if you've seen Firefly, imagine that Federation, but less Reavers, which I know is a bit of a downside, but go with it here. So I'm the Pirates. Again, if you've seen Firefly, just go with it. Main character's named Deuce. There are many parallels to a variety of things throughout all of history that you can go by on that. So I'm piloting Deuce in the ship a lot, and, oh, by the way, this first boss has a bit of a dead zone where I can just kind of hang out and do nothing. So I'm going to sit here and yap at you while that's going on. Hooray, the first boss is down, and there's a cutscene, so we skip it. All due respect to the cutscenes, I'm sorry, Dinant. The interesting thing about this game is that there are 7 people total that I can talk to throughout the course of this, and what I need to be doing is talking to all of them to unlock 8 dialogue options throughout the 30 days, effectively, that I am playing the game. And so you have to juggle a variety of parameters as well as, well, all the things that you're going to be doing in the game, namely trying to shoot things and hopefully also not die. I don't have enough money to buy a single weapon, and I probably should have taken one less on the agility right now, but that's fine. Where am I at? So I'm Deuce. I'm flying a ship. I'm a pirate. Hey. So the rundown of the characters is Jenny. Like, the first stage there, you saw me, I'm fighting some things, and all is great with the world, and I rolled up on a capital ship from the Empire, you know, as you do when you're a pirate, and I immediately flew into him, because it's scripted, and you're supposed to die anyway, so let's make it faster. Let's just go ahead and run right into his bulkhead. Imagine I'm an A-Wing at the Battle of the Ewok planet. Why I'm trying to say Kashyyyk because that stupid meme sticks in my head. Anyone wants to throw that into chat, that would be great. Anyways, I'm that A-Wing. Only difference is I didn't take out his shields. I died. And I land on a planet, and I thought I was dead, and I hit a bird, and then I wake up alive, and there's a pretty girl who is repairing my ship. And she's like, no, I'm really good with mechanics. So she joins our ship, like, eventually, months later, to become the engineer, you know, as you do. Clearly, I just have an ability to do this sort of thing, and you're also pirates, so you need the help. Please bring me on. And we say, yeah, all right. So she does, and then promptly paints a snail on the side of my plane, which is the style of the time. She's the engineer. Her name is Jenny. The bartender of the local speakeasy, which, well, I guess it's not underground, just bar. The local bar owner is Johnny, and his most regular of patrons is a dude named Swig, who, as you can guess, drinks a lot. He's also a panda, so, you know, he's got that going for him. which is rice. No, no, no. I'm so sorry for that. Anyways. The other people is your adoptive sister, Tessa, who is also the medic on the ship, and she really, really, really doesn't like it when I keep injuring myself like this. Actually, Jenny hates it less, and in order to unlock her final dialogue tree, you have to take no deaths. So I'm in a bit of a pickle right this second. The fact that I've taken this many hits so far is actually not exactly doing so well for the run itself, because the all endings category requires that I don't die. You know, I have to get to her end tree for dialogue, but I also have to get to, you know, everybody else's. So the fact that I'm... Oh, actually, that actually ruins the entirety of the run. That killed the run. But I'm 6 minutes in, so I'm going to do the stupid thing, and I'm going to hit reload, and we're going to do all that again. I know it's the estimate is 2 hours. This actually plays into that estimate. I know that sounds dumb. Just go with it. And I hope I can resync this correctly. I'm assuming that's correct. Is that correct? Wow! Sorry about that. Anyways, music is loud, and I like things. So confirm hard. Off to the races we go. Skip that, skip this. So we're going to go back up to where it was that I just was, which is turn on the mouse, run into the boss, and we're dead. Too much yapping yields to death sometimes, and that's understandable. If you saw my run yesterday, which I'm assuming hopefully nobody did, because please tell me you didn't see that. It was... terrible. Anyways, yeah, you don't want that. And like I was just saying, don't die, because you have to get to the final dialogue tree for each one of the 7 characters that you can talk to. The engineer is don't die, and I died. So that immediately ruins the dialogue tree, which means I can't get all endings. So we're just going to back up a bit. So it's Marin. There's the panda. He's a panda. I hope you like him. I skipped him anyways because I can. Is there a better weapon that I can afford? That's the weapons tech Deadeye. She showed up one day and said, "Hey, I want to work on..." No, you didn't, Demo. You take that back. I want to roll up on your ship and like build just weapons of questionable backing and reason and such. And the leader of the pirates, a woman named Arica, who everyone calls the Oracle because she can just kind of foresee the future. Just go with it. Was like, yeah, sure, why not? And she's actually really, really good at her job. Scarily good at her job. She's not good at cooking. Running gag is she, her food tastes like all of the death. So, that and your adoptive sister, Tessa, who is also the ship's medic, who I was mentioning prior to my incredible, amazing death right there. She doesn't want you to hurt yourself, even though she'll readily patch you up. Now, I had been mentioning that her deal is she wants you to be spending all of your money on things that will keep you alive for the entirety of the run. What that means is you can spend money on modifications, things that will boost your ship in a variety of ways outside of damage, because that would be a little bit too unfair. So you can boost your crit, boost your accuracy, your ship speed, evasion, how much money drops, how many items drop, which those swirly orbs that you're seeing me grab occasionally, hopefully more than occasionally, I'd like to see all the orbs, please, thank you, game. I'm going to run into that wall, I hope that's okay. Yeah, that right there, that's experience, I want it. More experience, I want it! And that's money. I'm going to take the damage to get the money. More money! All the monies! Actually, I'm sorry, in this game it's called Moolah. I really feel like I should correct myself there. Sorry, yes. All of those things are the things that you have to hit a certain number of so that your adoptive sister, Tessa, the medic on the pirate ship who is fighting the Empire tooth and nail to not get blown away in the depths of space, will allow her to talk to you the 8th and final time. So, you know, it's a game mechanic. I realize there's not much of the huge logic behind it. I don't question it. I just thoroughly fail at a completely different mechanic because I'm good at video games. So yeah, this boss, once again, dead spot, find the O, which I have found. I used to go by the P, but then that first bullet would hit you. You can see it barely missed me, it didn't, and I'm practically inside the boss, and we're cool. You could have a better weapon right now, and I probably should have spent a bit of money, whatever little money I had, on that better weapon, which would speed this up a bit, but I didn't, because I'm tremendously clever. So again, I apologize. So we skip that dialogue. We go right back in. Luck, which is, luck, by the way, is your crit percentage, how often you do a crit, that adds on to whatever the native crit rate of your weapons is. That comes into factor later. Item percentage, how often items appear, and money. So you want that maxed out. Intellect is your crit damage. You want that maxed out so you get your crits doing 100%, and then your shields and your regen and your experience. So you level up faster, so you get more level ups. You get more experience, so you get more level ups. There's Tessa and Jenny, because we're just going to yap at them real quick. We're going to skip through their dialogue trees because I can. I'm going to look for a weapon first, so maybe I don't suck at this. There's a 5 machine gun. I'm going to take that, and whatever's left over, that I will dump into my engines. It's not exactly huge, but I'm going to take it. Only like a 6.5 minute loss, plus the extra yapping about the stats in general, so we're at 7 minutes. Who else is left on the ship? There's the local drunk Swig. I already talked about him briefly because he likes to visit the bar, because with a name like that, you're not going to take up underwater basket weaving. That's how the man rolls, and would you blame him? Because if you were named Swig as a child, what are your options in life? I mean, and you're a panda, so I guess you're either going to take up, well, actually, WoW picked up the drunken boxing tank that was also a panda, didn't he? So, I mean, regardless of what happens, there's probably a little bit of imbibing in your future. So I apologize to all of that. So Swig, he just shows up every 3 days. I guess that's what hangovers take in panda times. Anyways, we're back at the stage that I died at before, but I'm going to try and not be nearly as stupid as I was last time. On hard mode, and I feel the need to mention this now because it kind of bit me in the butt last time. On hard mode, you notice I have that neat little blue aura around my ship, right? Not Aurica, that's the runner of the pirates right now, the leader of the captain of the pirates of the thing. I'm the number 2, hence the name Deuce. Don't worry, there's many more stupid puns ahead, I promise you. Yay. That blue aura lets you know your shields are at full capacity. So if I run into a wall, which actually has a couple of benefits, surprisingly, down the line. I didn't take any health damage, so I didn't lose any speed. If I run into a wall, the shields go away, which is annoying, and I also lose that aura, and that's actually really bad for a couple of stages. Oh, about an hour and some change from now. The reason that I bring that up is really those stages. But more importantly is that if you start getting low enough on life, you actually find yourself running low on speed, as in maneuverability for your ship. Now, that's mitigated heavily by one of those mods that I can get, which placates my annoying doctor sister, Tessa, who wants me to buy more mods. The engine ship mod things, whatever, yay. I get up to 15 of those, and it makes my speed incredibly fast and maneuverable, and I can actually start to do a secondary thing with that, which is, as you just saw there, and not right there. If there is a thing nearby and it's not too large an object, like that just was, so we'll just pretend it happened anyways, whatever, I can Gradius skip through the things that are hitting me. So predominantly lasers, occasionally bullets, and maybe sometimes other things that I might run into, which hopefully won't kill me. We're gonna all cross our fingers. Let's just go with it. Is the good old-fashioned, you are moving so fast that you actually start to skip frames, which allows you to then move through the thing that is, well, in your way. So, I mean, you can kind of see it. I use the mouse to control the game. It's coded, I should say, to use the keyboard, and actually that will come into play, I believe, on this boss, but we're not at him yet, so we'll burn that bridge when we cross it. Originally, the game was coded to use the keyboard to control your ship, but it was then recoded to be able to use the mouse because why not? It's the mouse. And if you really want to, you could turn up your sensitivity all the way up to 11 because our amps do that. Anyways, references. Which is fun, and you can fly really fast at that point of time. It gets a pretty good amount faster once you actually get up to 11. But right now I'm only at the 9, so it's not a huge increase in the speed, but you can kind of see me skipping a little bit. And what that means is that the frames start to drop out, which means my hitbox starts to drop out. I completely missed that turret, and I hate all the things, but there's a shield, so we're good. What that means is that essentially my hitbox isn't even there, so in a few key instances I'm able to take what the boss is attempting to give to me and go, no, I'm over here now, and not take the damage. So, I've already said that I'm going to be dumping pretty much all of my points into intelligence and luck for all of the experience boost and crit boosts and so on. Any leftover points that I managed to get my hands on, I'm going to be dumping into health, which clearly did not help me in the previous stage. But at this early section of the game, we're only talking about maybe a 4% increase on your health, which is not huge, and like a 3% damage reduction. It's not enough to be able to justify getting it. It's just enough to make me able to think about it, and because it starts to have incredibly stacking returns once you get into feats, yeah, we're essentially treating this like D&D now. Once you get into feat land, things get a little bit different. So here's the Living Heart. Here's a boss that was coded based off of using the keyboard. So his mechanic is he's supposed to drag you in. And he still does, even if you're using the mouse, but more often than not, I have 15 speed at this point. I can literally take my hands off the mouse, do absolutely nothing, boss is dead. Hey-ho, there we go. More cutscenes, which we skip past. All apologies to the 60,000 word novel that my man Danon wrote. But we're going to go ahead and skip past those. And so, while I'm at it, I'm going to go ahead and skip ahead of my notes because I would prefer to actually pay attention to those. Yeah, Ginny and Swig. Next up is Mare and Tessa. So, as I have mentioned a couple of times now, Tessa wants me to be buying mods. So, there we go. I'm at 10. That is the minimum necessary to hit her next benchmark for having a conversation. She's a bit of an awkward sister, I guess. She just kind of runs that way. That's how she rolls. My speed's a little bit better. I move around faster. If the mouse cursor was still on the screen, you'd see it well ahead of the ship, but then the ship immediately tries to play catch-up and get back to it. And that's how you would expect it to be. Once it gets to 15, it's pretty insane. I try to, if I can remember to, and then also successfully pull it off. When I get to the final boss, I will be trying to damage skip the final boss on a couple of sections. The big RNG junk that he does to me in that fight is those big, long, red lasers that you've seen pretty much everybody use. But he'll place them in random sections of the screen, and then he'll also throw drones out that will occasionally throw bullets at you, and the drones, with as little health as I have, will pretty much one-shot me. Not like that, but fairly close. Dagnabbit, that shit was stupid, and I'm glad I ran into him. Where was I at? Boss plus drones plus bullets. The drones will nearly one-shot me. Not enough, but it's enough that it tears through me, plus all of my extra health, plus the feats that I took to boost my health, plus the feats that I took to restore my health whenever I use my super move, which I'll get to that in a second. The super move is the big beam that I used prior to dying, before I reset the game because I'm clearly clever. And those are the bullets. You can see the bullets. These random missiles are just kind of throwing them at me. Hey, I took a bullet because I'm amazing. And, I don't know, I wanted to see what it felt like. I'm like Wade Davis in a home run. What does it feel like? We're going to do it. He used to play for the Royals. I'm a fan of the Royals. I'm sorry. I know that was a weird sidebar. Just go with it. So, we're building towards the end game. That's pretty much the long and short of all of that rant, I guess. Don't really have anything else to add right this second other than I'm, craving a quick hit from my vape. And also, the music was done by the fantastic Artaplane, and you should listen to everything it is that they've ever done, because obviously you should. So I'm going to vape while killing the City Master, who is bullets and a spread wave, and occasionally drones. So I'm going to do that while vaping. So please enjoy the boss music while I kill this dude. So this is our first feat after killing that boss. There it was. Good job, me. So each 5 stages, you get a feat, which allows you to, yeah, Mare and Tessa. I'm looking wrong. I'm sorry, I'm looking at my notes, but then also the screen, but also other things, and I'm just kind of blowing it. So real quick, we're going to sidebar to, I'm buying the laser, which is the weapon that's going to carry me through pretty much most of the rest of the game. I mean, as you can see, it's a laser. It's pretty good. You can look at the stats. The accuracy is 90%. So at 90% of the time it will hit. 10% of the time it will do a grazing attack. Grazing means, I mean, it's a shooter. You landed the shot because you lined up with your enemy. Grazing means, oops, but somehow it wasn't a full hit, so it only did half damage. So, you know, it's an interesting mechanic. And at 90%, the laser's pretty freaking solid. However, that plus its normal, very, very, very consistent damage, there's one major kind of problem with it, and that's it's very, very middling damage. So getting good level ups on it is very, very helpful. That and if you have any bonuses to crit, because it doesn't have any crit, so critting the middling, you know, very average, very fast, hits pretty much the whole screen. It's a wonderful, wonderful weapon. Please use it forever. That weapon, if you're able to add crit to it, you're not very likely to be seeing the oops, I only did half damage. You're far, far more likely to be seeing oops, I did double damage. Oh no. And there's a lot of hits hitting you right this second. That's amazing. Let's do this. So I like the laser. It's pretty much the full screen I win button, if you will, which you probably shouldn't. Really, by and large, if you ever play this game casually, you're going to love the laser. And if you don't love the laser, that's because you spent too much time leveling and you're trying to use the hidden weapon. We'll get there eventually. Or you like the long shot feet and saw mines. I know that sounds like a funny word. It's a space shooter and we're using saw mines. Just go with it. You'll see it. And then you'll go, this is stupid. And then you'll see the damage from it and you'll go, that's stupid. Anyways, I didn't finish covering the rest of the cast, did I? So we did Jenny, the engineer, Tessa, your adoptive doctor sister. Oh, actually, let's sidebar real quick because there's a giant snail coming at me. I would just like to point out how awesome this is. One of the bosses, and actually you fight each boss in the game 3 times. They get more powerful and have special abilities as you go. And that one will charge at you because he's a butt. That's what he does. He's a butt. There's a rocket snail, right? So, hey, rocket snail. Yay. So bosses are stupid, and I had a laser. Use the laser. The laser is awesome. I killed him, so Jenny and Deadeye? Jenny and Deadeye. I blew this yesterday. I would really prefer to not blow it again, so I'm going to make sure I have things going in my favor this particular run. 12 is not a big enough leap to worry about grabbing one of those, but I'm going to go ahead and grab this bigger bomb. I'm going to go back to the hangar. I'm going to grab some more modules. Not enough, but I'm going to grab some, throw them into my shields, because as you can see, I'm at 88. That's like an extra third on top of my shields. I like that. I want that. We're going to the swamp. Yes, Meowth, I understand that you want Nefertiti, but we will get to Nefertiti. So, let's back up. Jenny is the engineer, and she painted a snail on your ship, which is what you do in space. And she repaired your ship, you know, when you were nearly dead on a planet that you landed on, crash landed on, because you fought an Imperial ship head on. Or in my case, you flew into one, because X-Wings, and please continue this Star Wars reference at your leisure. Johnny's the bartender, and Swig is the drinker, and his number one customer. He's the norm of the group. Tessa's your adoptive sister. You don't actually talk to the leader of the pirates. You don't talk to Arica. She only shows up in the cutscenes, which is what she does. That's fair. That's her prerogative. That's fine. She's too busy commanding the ship to go, no, I'm not going to go to the bar. Who else is left? Deadeye, the crazy weapons tech, who, as I already said, will show up and go, I want to make stupid things for your pilots. And you're like, yeah, right, do that. In one of her endings, she apparently decides to retrofit your plasma burners, that big blue flame on the end of your ship, that make it also create a wall of plasma. Because, I mean, if you could, wouldn't you make a wall of plasma? I mean, we're talking about essentially, I'm playing this game, but now I'm also playing Tron. Let's do that, yes please. Jar Jar is dead, Mario. You take that back, and how dare you? It's a shame that a Jedi died in such a fashion, but Jar Jar is dead. I maintain that fact. No, he is not Lord Snoke. Yes, I went there. Who am I missing? I think that's the 6. So Jenny, Johnny, Deadeye, Swig, Johnny. No, I said Johnny twice. Poop. Mare. So the entire time that you're going on these crazy missions, and no, it is not a dating sim. I mean, you can essentially get with the girls, if you will, in their endings. But it's not a dating sim. You're not like buying gifts for them and trying to score points. You're trying to score points with them as much as you are with the drunken panda and the bartender. So I'm not going to read into that too much outside of, drunken panda and bartender. What kind of dating sim are you looking for, sir? Actually, let's not answer that question at all. Intellect, defense, and luck! Which is what we do. She gives me the vertical up-down bombs, which are truly stellar, and I use them, I think, twice in the entirety of the run. So, at this particular point, Wisp, where am I at? Wisp is Johnny and Swig. There's Johnny, there's Swig. We done. Let's move right onto the tundra. No ocean. I have it backwards. So yeah, Johnny, Swig, Ginny, Tessa, Deadeye, Mare. Mare is the mercenary who just kind of showed up. Thank you on the dodges. Oh, trust me, it only gets better. Just take my word for it. In fact, you don't have to take my word for it. Wait in about 30 minutes and you'll see the same, but stupider. Possibly stupider? I have better weaponry by then. Mare is a mercenary who once the leader of the space pirates and the leader of your ship particularly, just go with it. Arica, I've mentioned her before. I hope you remember the name, and if you don't, it's Arica, the Oracle. Just remember Oracle. Play the game so you can read the novelization. It's a good game, I promise. It's a good read. Quick sidebar once again from Mare. The first time I played through this game, I was skipping through all of the dialogue because, just get to the game. And about halfway through the game, my response was, wait, no, I want to finish the level so I can get to the next round of dialogue. It's a good read. It never gets full-blown bullet hell because it's also an RPG, so you can mitigate a lot of the disasters that are coming at you. But it gets pretty bullet hell-ish at times, so you just kind of have to deal with it. I'm trying to hit that meteor or asteroid or whatever, so I can take that guy out with relative impunity and then back to these things. Anyways, sorry, I was talking about that, but then I got distracted by bullet hell, and then I was talking about Arica for some reason, and then prior to that was Mare. So Mare is the last one, the mercenary who just showed up on the ship when the pirates were essentially forming and said, I want to come help you out. And she's way better than everybody else on the ship. Like, eventually, later on, plot-wise in the game, your character's like, Mare, please, teach me. How do I be as good as you? And she's like, alright, we're gonna do this. Come at me. And she just unleashes everything. And your only recourse, plot-wise, is, please, for the love of God, run away. And your character's response is, well, what the hell was I supposed to do? Your options were run away. Well, but that's stupid! Yeah, sometimes you have to realize that fact. Important lesson, the more you know. I'm just gonna go ahead and finish him off right here. Except that wasn't enough damage, was it? So, bombs for the finish? Bombs for the finish? Bombs for the finish. I like it. Mara's the last person, which, spoilers, it's a she. I feel kind of bad for doing that. What's this? Jenny and... Oh, God, I gotta get to 20 mods on Tessa. So I need to... Thank you. I need to get those last two, which gets me up on my shield mod some more. Then I can go back here, and there's Tessa, who's complaining about stuff, and then she's also eating my food. Which is, what you do in space, occasionally. My laser's a 10. There's a 17, which is, what, a 25% increase, and that's really good, so I'm going to go ahead and take that. Do I have any spreads? I have no spreads. I'm going to take the 13 right now. It's better than what I have, so I'm going to take it. So we move on to the Tundra. There's a lot of juggling of miscellaneous things here. Mare and Swig... The last person I mentioned, and one of the first that I mentioned, the panda. The drunken panda and the blue-helmeted chick who kicks my ass in spaceflight but never goes on missions because, don't worry about it, we'll get to that later. Those two just show up every 3 days, no prerequisites, but you can only talk to 2 people a day, so make sure you're managing things correctly. I'm going to take another quick sidebar. One of the reasons that I like bombs, as you can see right here, they're passing through this big giant ice wall beneath me, and I could run into it, and it hurts. So don't do that. But the V-bomb, which fires up and down, will stop on the terrain. So I can actually use those bombs of mine to take out things that are beneath me. Hooray for that. Yay that, I want this experience. I could take those things, take out things that are beneath me with relative impunity. In fact, practically no impunity. Only really towards the end of these split sections of the stage is where it starts to factor in at all. I'm going to blow up these mines while I'm at it. And also that turret because they suck and I hate turrets. I should also mention the fact that occasionally I ram myself into walls. You can see that I'm, like, just flying through all of my shields when I do that, and there's a specific reason for that. The reason being, I'm not trying to, oh no, let's die. The reason for doing that is because the only well, eventually more, but initially 2 ways of refilling your oh no button, your overdrive, your super move, which actually doesn't do a huge amount of damage, but your super move, which renders you invulnerable for a bit. The only ways that you can refill it are by taking damage from shields and taking damage from, like, health damage. So I'm burning through my shields, which slowly regenerate, so I can build a little bit more into the overdrive. So again, you're invulnerable while doing it. It's a great weapon to be able to have on hand so that you can go, oh no, I need to not die right now. And it shouldn't be a problem against this boss who just drops things from the floor and occasionally throws triple bullets at me, except I totally flew into that bullet too. Wow, I'm amazing. I'm trying to rebuild my overdrive. That's what's happening. That is the plan. I hope you like it. So that's that stage. Anyways, more luck. More intelligence, more life. Yippee that. Cafe on this particular round, Tundra, Deadeye, and Mare. There they are. There's both of them. You keep trying to talk to Mare. She says nothing because that's how she rolls. The engineer wants to introduce the crush weapon, which we never use because it's not very good. And that spread is a little bit better than what I have, so I'm going to go for that. And I'm planning ahead slightly. This next boss, I have to have 100,000 to be able to talk to Johnny on the next round. So I can afford pretty much, I think, one of those, and I'm going to throw it into health? No, that's not big. Regen. No, that's regen. We're going to go regen. That 1 extra shield per second can actually pay off a lot. By dumping a bunch into intellect, my shields regen via intellect a lot faster. You can understand where I was going with that sentence before it very thoroughly got away from me, I hope. Anyways, let's go ahead and try to rebuild our oh no button a little bit faster. So we've determined, I don't know, the characters outside of the last character who we will get to. We'll talk about them more during Phase 2 of the game. But for right now, we're focused on getting through this stage, not wiping at all, because, again, that ruins the all endings section of the run. Don't really have anything else to add immediately right this second, other than the parameters for what everybody needs for you to be able to reach, for you to have a conversation with them. Mare and Swig just show up every 3 days. Well, Swig is 3 days, Mare is 4 days. So you have to plan those out carefully. And since you can only talk to people every twice, or 2 people every day, I should say, you have to plan out things. Everybody else is 2 days, but they have other things that affect whether or not they're going to show up and you can talk to them. Johnny, you have to save money. The initial round of Johnny is you don't have to save any money because, I don't know, hey, why not? You're broke. But every subsequent round, so every 2 days, you have to save up 50,000 more moolah to be able to talk to him. So the first round is null, and then every one after that, the remaining 7 is 50k. So by the end of the game, I have to have 350,000 moolah banked, not spent, just to be able to have a conversation with the local bartender who likes serving swig. I don't pretend to understand it. Again, you know, it's a game mechanic. It's fair. We're going to go with it. Tessa is how many mods that you have, which is, I forgot the specific math for it, but it amounts to, or no, sorry, I'm thinking of Ginny. Tessa is you have to have mods. Every subsequent level, you have to have 10 more mods than the previous level. And since every time you buy a new mod, it costs 1,000 more than it did before, it starts to get very, very expensive. So the last mod that you're buying is whatever the math is for that particular amount. It's kind of crazy and insane. It's stupid. And once you get into juggling that plus having weapon levels for Deadeye, the crazy weaponsmith, everything winds up being incredibly crazy, and we hate all the things. That's pretty much those guys. Mare is just show up and talk to her 4. I mentioned that. Here's another skill. We want rapid reload because that's how often our special weapons will be reloading and firing, which is very good because I also gave them the ability to crit. And since your stats just kind of natively go up, you're going to do fine. Ginny and Johnny. I love that level because it kind of rhymes. That's all fine. Is there a better laser? 21 is viable. What's my best of the V-bombs? 12 versus 17. It's not bad, but I'm going to not go with it. And I don't need the spread right this second, so we're going to go back to the hangar and just kind of spend it all right there. I probably should have gone for Deadeye and the weapon levels. Now, again, what Deadeye is, hey, I want to go ahead and be offering, more weapons for you, which is what she do. And that's the one I was thinking of in terms of math. You have to have each level. The first level's no weapon levels because I guess that's fair. And then you have to have 10, and then plus 20, and then plus 30, and then plus 40, 50, 60, 70. So at the end of the game, you have to have 280 across all of your weapon levels, which seems like it would naturally happen. But again, speed run, so you're going a little bit faster, you're not over leveling, you're probably strapped for cash, things are a little bit wonky, so I have to buy useless levels and weapons I'm probably never going to be needing, because it's only going to extend a little bit further than you would want it to over the weapons it is that I'm going for right now. I'm actually going to go ahead and burn this just to finish off the rest of my shields. And then try to get a little more lasering in on this particular boss. I really just don't want to blow it right here. And the boss is dead, so we're good. So we move on. Intellect, because if you keep your luck maxed out, you keep that at a robust 25%. Intellect, you keep that maxed out, it gets you to 100% of your crit damage, and then everything else goes into your defense so that hopefully you get more health and reduction just across the board. Kind of fun to have. So I can only talk to Swig right now. I don't have enough in the way of weaponry levels across the board, so what am I at? 10, 17, 21, 1, 1, 1, 12, which is not enough because I have to get to 60, so pretty much I'm pretty sure I can go for that saw mines right there and she shows up. No, I was slightly off. But I've got a fair amount of cash, so I'm also going to go for Crush, which I've bought nothing in, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. I played a couple of Touhou games, Kona, and I'm not good at them. I know that's probably a surprise. I'm not good at Touhou games. What is going on here? How am I dropping the ball on the... Oh, no, it's Tessa. I'm looking at the wrong list. Okay. Okay, see, the reason this sucks right now is that I need to actually go into this stage briefly and farm a little bit, be able to get that last amount. I'm there on the weapon level, so I'm good on the next stage. I completely dropped the ball and need to get to about 30, I think 31k in order to be able to afford this next, mod, so that I can then have Tessa talk to me, because my sister is incredibly finicky and she wants to have a certain amount of things to converse with me. But this is a fine time for me to go ahead and rebuild my shield a bit. And I don't know, are there any donations or anything? Somebody wants to hop in and yell at me, because I'm going to drop out of the stage real quick, return to base, buy that last mod. Oh, it's 29. I was off by 2. That's fine. I'm going to do that. Go into the cafe. That's status. I meant cafe. Shout out cafe. There she is. This is what I get for scanning ahead. That's entirely my bad. I apologize. The next one is Ginny and Deadeye. So I have the weapons for the next level pretty much set up. There. No donations. I feel the need to mention that I tried to donate a couple of times and it kept giving me an issue saying it can't process your donation right now, and it's redirecting to Tolidi, whatever the thing was, the main page. I don't know if that's a thing, but I tried to donate a couple of times, and I don't know if you guys need to look into that, but if you need to look into that, please do so. Excuse me, I now have the hiccups. Dagnabbit, hiccups, why? Oh, this is gonna be terrible. So we're on the second round of all of the stages in the game, so you see the same bosses, the same, essentially 10 bosses. They're all more powerful, they all hit harder, they all have more life, they all suck. Because, you know, that's how you roll. I'm going to go ahead and take this opportunity to bounce myself off of walls so I can regain a little bit more of my overdrive in case something goes wrong somewhere. And then hopefully we will be good for the foreseeable future. I don't necessarily need it, but wall riding so that I can go ahead and rebuild that is pretty big in a lot of situations. It's also really, really big in terms of death in a couple of situations, because if you're in the wrong situation and you're trying to wall ride against an enemy to rebuild your overdrive, well, you might get caught in the local flora and fauna and not get unstuck until you're very dead. It's just, I don't pretend to understand what it is specifically that caused that to happen in the programming. I just know that it's a thing, and I'm assuming, hoping that Dan will somehow figure that out. Maybe? Yes? No? I don't know. Alright, so anyways, where am I at? What am I talking about? I've covered all of the characters outside of the 7th and final hidden character, if you will. But meanwhile, since I'm approaching the drone mothership, I'm going to hover over the O and take another vape break. So, I'm going to take that shot, that's fine. So if y'all want to, I don't know, talk amongst yourselves and do stuff or hang out, whatever, you go ahead and do that. Thank you, Mario. I appreciate the attendance of the lesser games that I play. So yeah, okay, Jenny and Deadeye, we're back on track. I blew that yesterday, and that was entirely my bad, and I shouldn't have done it. So saw mines, by the way, I mentioned them before. Saw mines are going to be what I use once I get long shot for pretty much the rest of the game. There's nothing there enticing, so I'm going to go more towards the mods. I can only buy 3, but that's fine. I'm going to dump it into evade, because as you can see, there's extra stats over there. I have a robust 3% chance to not take damage, but I doubled it to 6. The most I can get it up to is 8. Effectively, wait, hang on. Hang on. I've been hitting the wrong button. Maze? No. No, maze? No. Yes. Where am I? Earthwall, Skybase. Graveyard is... Oh, I didn't do the graveyard. That's why. Sorry, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong thing. I figured it was the graveyard. My notes are in complete disarray. I really need to fix these. I had toyed around with the idea of fixing my splits so they didn't actually say the stage, which is, you know, conducive to people watching, so they can go, oh, it's this split. And more of the, alright, this plus random letters and a monetary amount, what are you doing? But that's, I mean, you can kind of tell that would be fairly useful for my purposes for keeping track of, do I need this much money right this second? Or do I need to immediately blow it all on mods so my sister will actually talk to me? Or do I need to blow it all on weaponry so the crazy one-eyed mechanic / weaponsmith will talk to me? You know, good times. It's fun. It's interesting. You're kidding. I don't know if I believe you, so I'm going to go ahead and take your word for it and assume that you're not and say, hey, thanks, brother. I appreciate that. That's cool. What's in the vape? I now realize that you had a sentence prior to that. Sorry. It is a skull and bones flavor, which is called Loopy Cereal. Oh my god, I just killed the run again because I ran into a thing, because I looked at my vape. Alright, we're no longer all endings. This is officially any percent, because I'm not going back 44 minutes into the run. Oh, okay, so what that means is that I'm not going to be able to get Ginny's final ending. The mechanic who requires you to not die for 16 stages into the run. Well, I didn't get there because I'm clever and looked away from the screen. I apologize. Again, everything ramps up in the damage very quickly in this portion of the game. That's entirely my fault. I apologize. Just the same, I'm going to blame Mario because I want to. It's not fair at all, and so it's entirely unjustified, and he can look at me and say, screw you, that's not fair. And I admit that that's my fault. I apologize. The category is null and void. Well, poop. So anyways, I'm not going to get the best ending for the mechanic, which also means since I did not successfully... Oh, no. Don't worry about it. The estimate is for all endings, which honestly would require me loading a save file, which I don't have, rebooting the window entirely. No, it's only no deaths for an hour. It's just I'm stupid. No. That's you. That's you. You asked a question, and I looked. So that's on me. That's my fault. It's not going to impact it at all. The only difference is, and I'm going to go ahead and spoil the super secret ending. The super secret ending, normally if you finish the game, you have an option of, if you didn't get to the last dialogue tree for anybody, you have the option of, I wish for nothing at all, which is a thing that happens. We'll get to that later in the game. And what that means is, oh, you're clever and you don't want to burn this excessive power that you have on stupid things that people have, wasted it on before, so thank you. And then eventually other characters magically come to life and they're talking to you again and it's amazing, and, Aesop's Fables, all that jazz. What happens on hard mode with all of the unlocked ending prerequisites is that you then have that ending turn into a different ending that pretty much amounts to a beach party for all of the living characters. And suddenly all of the characters are alive again, including ones that you thought were maybe possibly dead due to circumstances that we'll get to later. But I blew it. That's fine. We're not backing up. We're just going to treat it as an any percent. To be fair, on the page it actually lists this as all stages, which is still true. This is still all stages. That is not changing. I was hoping for all endings, which is, technically it's all but 2 endings. Where am I at? Sorry. That was the What's a Butt, Neon City, blah, blah, blah. I lost track of where I was. I completely lost track of where. Mary Johnny, I'm back! We're back! Mary Johnny, we're up! I could just look at other things too, but I'm not. I want to use the missiles because they are forward firing and they are awesome, but I don't have the long shot yet, which sucks, so we're just going to go with it, as you do. Moving on to the maze. See, there we go. Okay. I apologize. It's what you do sometimes, whatever. Really, if you want to see the special endings, which I completely screwed up on, you have to go play the game now. I'm so very sorry. You have to go enjoy the game. Oh no, what a crime. So that right there was a quick teaser of the weapon that I will be using for the rest of the game. But I'm not yet. So this is the saw mines. As you can see, they're large blades. They don't fly particularly far, and half of their hits do what's called grazing, which I mentioned, like 45 plus minutes ago. No, you don't have to hold anything down. There's an auto-fire in the game. It's very precious like that, and I'm very thankful for the fact that there's an auto-fire in this game. Because can you imagine me firing this many times in a row? I mean, you can see the laser is not a continuous beam. It is a series of beams that are fired very quickly. And I do not want to be doing that. Also, you'd probably hear me doing this repeatedly on the stream. So let's not go that route. This Let's Play is weird. Hey! What's your point? It's just... I'm maintaining that this is, this is setting up for go do your own Let's Play. It's entertaining. There are a variety of YouTube videos that will have Let's Plays, and also here's all the various endings for XYZ character and so on and so forth. And, you're not wrong. It would thoroughly ruin my hand for an hour plus, but then again, I also watched Toad run Contra for like 6 hours, so I've seen worse happen to better people. Although, to be fair, after that, he couldn't even stream the next day, because playing Contra for 6 hours is the death knell of your thumbs. I don't even pretend to know what that would be like, and I don't want to know, so I'm not going to find out. Kill the turret! Oh my god! Alright, so we're back to the laser. It's faster, it's more efficient. I'm going to do this now. Great. I'm going to use that to kill the guy behind me. Where are we at? What are we doing? Living Heart. So here's the Living Heart. I'm actually going to take this opportunity to show off, A, the saw mines, which requires me being a little bit closer, and B, I'm actually going to run to the bathroom. So please enjoy this boss. I'm sorry, that was actually a lot shorter than I thought it would be. Apparently the saw mines are a little bit more OP than I thought they were. Even at level, what is it, 13? I don't know. Anyways, Ginny and Swig. Ginny and Swig. So I'm not going to get to 7 on Ginny, and that's really annoying. There she is, by the way. She's so happy! And she installed the crit mod! And I have to totally ruin all of her days. Forever and ever and ever. So after the next stage, I get the long shot, which allows me to use that weapon for the remainder of the run, which is absolutely fantastic. I'm not seeing anything that makes me go, wow, I need it! Especially since there's no good saw mines. There's 20, oh, there's a 29. That's a 20%, or sorry, 60%. I can't do math. 30%. 30%. Math is hard, and I hate things. Whatever, we're gonna go back to mods. I need the mods, we're gonna buy the mods. That's 5, we're gonna go crit, because it helps me kill faster anyways. We walk into the Neon City. All is great. That gets me on the mods. I think I have enough in the way of weapon levels, because at this next level, I have to have 100. To unlock the next Deadeye tree. Again, it's plus 10, plus 20, plus 30, plus 40, plus 50, plus 60, plus 70. So it's this round I need 100 across all of my weapons. And that's not bad, because I've got 8 weapons. So I only need, what is it, 12 and a half across each weapon. I don't know if I have 12 and a half across each weapon, but it's fairly reasonable enough that I think we're fine here. Bounce off of that wall, there's a shield, I'll take it, bounce off another wall, grab that shield, we're good. I'll run into that bullet promptly thereafter. I'm trying to rebuild my overdrive. The red bar, once it's full, means, hey, look, you use your super move, which ain't really gonna do much for you now, but okay. It's good stuff. And
real quick.
Yes?
You have time for a donation?
I do. Please make me stop yapping.
We got a $10 donation from XDanOND.
Nice.
He says, this seems like a pretty cool game. Thanks for running Starwish for charity. I'm sorry the game is being particularly mean today. I blame Marathon Luck.
Well, once again, as I mentioned, XDan, or SDan, whatever they choose to go by these days, that's the maker of the game, the creator of the game, the programmer, who has watched me do this a couple of times and has probably very thoroughly facepalmed very hard. But I very much appreciate that, sir, and I will go ahead and match that donation whenever it is that I finish this run, and I really, really hope it's in about an hour from now. So yes. Thank you. That's fantastic. Yay. So anyways, so we're rolling up on more of the same bosses, which you've already seen. Again, some of them hit harder, some of them have more life, usually both. It's kind of dumb. So this is the City Master, which has the spread bullets, which is not a huge, tremendous problem. I know I'm at like half health, but it's not a big problem because I still have the laser, so I can hang back here and just kind of lazily dodge. Well, I can really dodge that one. Thanks, game. That one's not hard. I mean, I have the overdrive available, so if I somehow get very, very low on life, it's very easy for me to double-click, and then I'm fine. But it looks like we're fine. So long shot means the laser is effectively null and void. I'm going to be using that right now. That's amazing. Cafe! Tessa and Deadeye. So I've got Tessa. I need to spend like all of my money on whatever it is that I could possibly get my hands on here in the way of weaponry. I don't know. Let's go for charge. That's a really big charge. I'm going to do that. That should cover it. There's Deadeye. We're good. I love it. Let's move right on into the forest. So, once again, I get to go fight the always wonderful Rocket Snail, but I'm not going to be fighting him with the crazy normal stuff anymore. I'm going to be fighting him with the saw mines. Now, the last time I used him, you saw the range was not exactly stellar. It's a little bit further now, and because they have a huge amount of damage behind them, and why am I not using the missiles? That might attribute to some of my damage loss, especially against like Living Eye and also the City Master. The missiles are forward firing bombs. You can see them. There's 2 of them. It's amazing. I love it. Where was I going? So yeah, saw mines. They now have double the range, and half of the time, roughly, theoretically, they will do half damage. But they have a native 25% crit rate, and their average damage is just ridiculously higher than everything else. So by using this weapon, even with the grazes, the half damage, the crits and raw damage output that I get off of these is vastly superior than the overall DPS that you get from the laser. Furthermore, laser is, you know, really good, really fast damage, and I mean, there's no questioning. Laser's great. Absolutely none. But you'll notice, if I'm using the laser, it stops when I hit the terrain. If I'm using the saw mine gives no cares, saw mine flies through all the things, including enemies. So in the event I start finding some of these guys, like that flower-looking enemy that fires the big beams at me, that's no worry. Anything behind it is still going to get murdered by the same big giant screw you damage that I'm throwing out at it. I love all of the stuff. And that really, really comes into play when I get to the final boss. So let's start talking about what it takes to get to the final boss. Well, you clear all the stages. I'm glad we covered that. Anyways, oh, and best part is the saw mines fly behind you. So if you missed an enemy, if there's something behind you somewhere, somehow, somewhere, I can go ahead and do that, and it hits behind me. It's wonderful, and I love it. In the case of the rocket snail here, who has the eyes here that constantly throw bullets at me, you can actually destroy the eyes. You can even see it already. The eyes are annoying like that, but I can murder through them very quickly, which means that I don't have to deal with the bullets anymore, which is great. I'm going to go ahead and dodge him anyways, because why don't you? He has one eye left, but there we go. So no more bullets. I can pretty well just position myself. Any percent pretty much amounts to play on normal, clear as fast as you can, and don't worry about juggling all the people that you have to talk to and all the various conversations that you have to have. Where am I at? It's just Johnny. I love it. We're done with that level entirely. Item mod is fun. I want it. That's more items. It's only 5%, but there's only so much that you can get in terms of, levels for your items, so hey, why not? One other thing of importance when it comes to general weaponry things, by and large, is that your overdrive is the average damage of your highest level weapon. So your "oh no" button that hits everything on the screen and makes you invulnerable and eventually will heal me because I'm going to take points in that feat because I learned that lesson. Take points in the feat that heals you. There's no healing otherwise in this game. Not for health. Don't be that guy. Although PB attempts, you still take big giant crits because big giant crits, what's wrong with you? Having that extra boost to your overdrive is just kind of ridiculous. It heals you for 10%, and it's going to happen right before the next major boss, which is very, very important. And, you know, I want that to happen, so let's have that happen, because, I was going to talk about something else, but I can't remember what it is, so, I don't know. What's happening? Oh, I was going to talk about a boot, if you're Canadian. The last character. I was talking originally about what it takes to get to the final boss. The overall plot of this game is you're space pirates, you're fighting the Federation, and they don't like your stuff, so they try to mess you up a lot. And they start sending a bunch of probes into a variety of locations. You start investigating those locations, and your boss, Arica, the Oracle, the leader of the space pirates, tells you, wait, go back. Go look harder. Like, seriously, fly close to the ground and look with your eyes. I'm serious, please do it. And you're like, okay, I found this shiny piece of metal. Like, bring it back to the ship right now. Okay. So, you've discovered what is called a star pendant. You're like, well, what's this? She's like, okay, so the pirate lords, yeah, we all had these things that amplified our power because we actually have literal mystical power. So it goes from sci-fi to high fantasy very quickly. Arica's ability is she can literally see the future. I wasn't making it up before. She can literally see a little bit into the future. That's why she has always managed to dodge the Federation regardless of what's going on. She's like, oh no, that's fine, we good. And she has a star pendant. So she's like, yeah, go get that now. Other characters in the game reveal themselves to be, people that can use these star pendants to great ability and so on. I really dislike this Wisp. He is never fun. He is always the stupid. Anyways, moving on. So, yeah, you get that star pendant. Where am I at? Wisp, Marin Swig. Sorry. I'm trying to keep up on my notes, plus also this, plus also yapping. And there's Johnny. Hello, Deuce! Oh, Johnny, you got business with Deadeye too? And we skip that. I was going to talk about the overdrive because it is the average damage of your top leveled weapon, which I believe right now is it's charge. So it's the average damage of the charge, but it doesn't factor in crit or accuracy. So that's high accuracy, reasonably okay crit. By and large, I want to have that, my laser, be the best because it has the best average weapon out of anything. Although I'm definitely going to be taking the scatter bullets because why not? And I desperately need to start getting onto these. I need one more. I'm going to get it after the next level. Mods because the next levels, and I have to have 50 to be able to unlock the next dialogue option with Tessa, who again is the doctor who doesn't like what I do, and apparently she's also a terrible cook. So I don't know, roll with it. Like most everybody in this game is a terrible cook, or at least according to Deuce. According to a couple other characters, they like the cooking and it's great. So maybe Deuce is just being a jerk to all the people that are trying to learn to be chefs. I don't know. But the average damage of my highest level weapon, which is still the charge weapon, so it's probably alright. That is what determines the damage per tick within a certain percentages of the overdrive. It doesn't really matter because more often than not, I don't want to be using the overdrive. If you're in a position where you have to be invincible for a few seconds and allowing your shield to recharge, that's probably not a good scene. So at least there's a little bit of extra damage coming from it, which is fine. But I can boost that ever so slightly by making sure that my highest level weapon is ideally the laser, which has, I believe, the highest average of all of the weapons. So I want to do that, and I'm not there. Right now it's the charge, but that's okay. The reason that I went for the charge so early like that is that I got to 24, which is one off of 25. So quick math. There's 12 weapons totals in the... Totals? Yes. There's 12 weapons total in the game. And the final level that I have to have in order to have a conversation with Deadeye, the last dialogue tree with the crazy weapons person in the game, is 280. So what's 12 times 2.5? Anybody? 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 It's enough to be able to get me to there. So if I get to 25 across all weapons, I haven't unlocked them all yet. I got 2 more to go, so we gonna get there. One of them is actually kind of important. And the other one is the wave beam, which I toyed around for a bit and then went, this ain't Metroid. The last 2, and really the rest of them, I want to get to 25, and then I'm set pretty much for the rest of the game, and then I want to boost up my spread. I want to boost up... I want to boost up the spread. I want to boost up the... I'm going to go underneath. What am I talking about? Spread, saw mines, whatever the third one is. Words are hard, and I can't remember them right now, so we're just gonna pretend that I know what I'm talking about. Scatter, the bombs. The bombs. Bombs are amazing. It's true, they are, because I said so. Okay, so there's Deadeye? Is it? It's not Deadeye. Oh, that's the last conversation with Ginny, but because I didn't get there, yeah, she's not well because I died. Just deal with it. So that will get me to the final dialogue tree with my adoptive sister. There she is. And I'm actually not going to worry about Deadeye right this second because that'll ruin my notes. So I'm not going to do it because I learned that lesson yesterday. So we're not going to do that. Scatter is fantastic. And that's like 90% of the damage I'm going to be doing with that weapon. Not 90%, but it's a really good amount of damage. Saw Mines is 15, and that's crap, so we're going to buy that one. And then we're going to walk right into the Icicle Ruins because we're good from here. I need to have 250,000 for the next dialogue tree for Johnny. I hope that doesn't involve another round of farming because that would really be stupid right now. I'm already like 15 minutes over and I cannot believe I thoroughly blew it like that, so let's try to not let that be a thing. So yes. Let's talk about the sub-weapons real quick, I guess. I touched on it briefly, but we're going to do the quick in-depth for you casual players that want to play through the game and read through the dialogue and go, what does this do? Because, I don't know, why not? Before we go to sub-weapons, major weapons. you got the machine gun. You've seen that enough. You've seen the spread gun. By now, it's pretty well outmoded. If you don't know the laser by now, what's wrong with you? It's the laser. Please use the laser. Crush weapon is alright. I mean, it does really good damage. There's that AoE. Even if it doesn't hit an enemy, if it does hit the enemy, it'll explode on them, do the AoE. Other things can then fall into it and they're dead. Saw mines are amazing for a bunch of reasons. And then you have the charge beam, which does that. And it'll fly all through the things and do pretty good damage, even at level 1. But I don't mess with it because, no thank you, I'm good. Saw mines, however, for the double hit, for the piercing a lot of things, for the huge damage, for the alright crits, for just everything that they do, I take the saw mines. But then you have sub-weapons. The first feat that I took allowed those things, your bombs and missiles and whatever, to crit, which doesn't seem like much, but considering they hit a hell of a lot harder than your normal weaponry, it's really good to have that feat. So the first one you saw, to a great extent, was your mines. And the important thing to keep in mind here, especially when it comes to the other weapons, but also importantly for these, is that bombs, will fly through the terrain, which is fun, and I'd like to demonstrate it, but there's a little bit too much on the screen right now, so we're just going to skip all that and move on to the Crystal Dragon. Probably going to have to use my oh no button right here. Let's just go ahead and kill the boss while I continue yapping. So, bombs fire straight down. They ignore terrain, but there's only one of them. It hits pretty hard, so it's got that going for it, which is nice. You have the V-bombs, which fire up and down. They don't hit nearly as hard as bombs, but they're still very, very useful. Because you can fire up with them as well. Sorry, where am I at? Deadeye Johnny? Deadeye Johnny! I do not have to farm. I like it. That's a lot of cash, too. I'm actually perfectly fine with that. Wave Beam, I'm never really going to use. But I want to get to 25 across the board with the rest of these weapons. So I'm going to need a machine gun spread. Oh, I really wanted to... 23 is just not a good enough spread. So I'm actually going to do something stupid. I'm going to walk into a stage. I'm going to hit pause and immediately leave the stage, which refreshes the shop and hope for a better spread. That's a 35. I will take the 35. I'm also going to take this machine gun right here. So I'm done for the 25 benchmark. I'm done on machine guns, done on spread. Laser's almost there, but that's fine. Crush is low. I'm done on saw mines, almost there on charge. Nothing for wave, whatever. Not done on bomb. V-bomb is stupid. Don't really use missiles, and scatters are great. So a lot of these weapons I still need to be getting the levels on, and that's fine, so I'm not going to sweat it. Because right this second, I have the big damage from a lot of the things that really matter for me, by and large. So yes. So the last character who eventually joins your ship, because there are 7. We covered Ginny, Johnny, Swig, Tessa, Mare, and the other one. Why can't I remember them? I should usually just remember Ginny and Johnny, because they rhyme. Swig is the drunk guy. Mare is the other person. Deadeye. Deadeye was the one I was forgetting. I apologize. So those are the 6. The 7th character to eventually join your ship is, of course, the Federation badass who continues to kick your ass, the one and only Neferiti. Who Meout continually refers to as, Captain Waifu, Commander Waifu, which, that's fair. It's the redhead, so I appreciate that. And she has her own reasons for joining you, namely because she is one of the few people that is able to use those star fragments that I mentioned a while ago, like 20 minutes ago. Problem is, she's a literal Ifriti. And the star fragments are fragments of the star that her home planet revolved around. I did mention the fact that this game rapidly turns into high fantasy. So she is a Ifriti. Your engineer, Jenny, by the way, Ginny, I guess, is a Djinni. Johnny, as it is discovered way longer on, I'm really good at combining words on night. Johnny is a Djinni, or Janny, whichever one he is. He's another one. And Merid is a water elemental called a Merid. So you have a bunch of mystical creatures on your ship that are really good at blowing up things. And you're the guy out in the ship destroying all of the things with, crazy space-related rocketry and Blades of Doom. So that was all fun, and I played all of that incredibly well. I hope you will agree. So we're going to go ahead and fight the Monolith again. I've got a slightly more powerful spread gun, and I've also got bombs that will hit him pretty effectively. So here's to hoping that I don't wind up doing really badly here. If I do, I have an overdrive on board, so I should be fine. It really amounts to whether or not he's going to be dropping those lasers on me. I try to avoid them by and large. I need to move further back, don't I? There we go. There's a Gradius skip. Hey! I love it when I actually pull off the techniques that I talk about in the run. I love it. It's great. I'm not matching his up-down, so I'm not matching a lot of those hits. Overheal is not the ability that you would think you would take. And that was Nefertiti, by the way. She was looking at us very menacingly. She doesn't even need her ship anymore. She's so powerful, she can just murder you. Is this just Swig? It's just Swig. Alright, so, end game build. As dumb as this sounds, we don't need money, we don't need items. The rest of that is fine. I don't really need regen right this second. I'm going to go for that. And more life, we'll take the regen. Okay, so more shields, more all of the other things. There's nothing here that I tremendously want. I guess maybe the saw mines? But more importantly is the stage after this, I have to get to 60 on the mods. That gives me more shields, really. More shields and more life. I'm going to do that. That gives me a fair buffer zone. So remember that first boss that I intentionally died to? Yeah, we're going to roll up on him and actually fight him now. It's not pretty. There's a lot of bullets and a lot of lasers and occasionally missiles, and this fight is not wonderful. But I should be able to tank it out. That's usually how you want to try and do it. Ah, dang it. That's what you get for trying to do a double Gradius. You don't double Gradius in this game. You think I would have learned that by now, but no. Also, don't hang out when there's lasers. I'm going to go ahead and use my overdrive because there was an overdrive on the screen, plus it allows my shields to rebuild, plus, you know, I actually heal now because I have a feat that will give me more life out of it. If anything, I probably should have dumped a few more points into hit points because that would have made that feat that I just took a little more potent, but I'm not going to sweat that because I'm able to effectively whittle this dude's down. This dude's? Multiple dudes? Many dudes. This ship. This evil capital ship of doom that doesn't have its commander on board. She's out, I don't know, somewhere flying around shooting things with fire and death and brimstone, as you do when you can. I'm not going to spoil most of the plot past that. I just want to mention that, you know, she left her ship, so you destroy her ship. And now you're in another location. By the way, you're at what's called the end of time. Doesn't that sound pretty? I need one more of these for Tessa. But there's also Mare. So where is that? There is that. I'm just going to dump it into health. I don't need the item removal right this second. Great. There's Tessa. Alright, so new weaponry, which is called the Chain. It's nothing stellar, but I'm going to buy it. That's great. I'm going to buy this wave. That gets me over the 25%, 25 levels, I should say, on the wave. Charge. I'm done on charge. That's fine. Saw mines are good. I haven't really seen any crushes to pop up. I don't need the spread. Oh, there's a crush right there. Okay, so we're done on... done. Not on chain. But pretty much it's just sub-weapons I have to worry about to unlock the final thing that I have to worry about. What's next after this is having 210 across all of my weapons. I'm pretty well set right there. And then also 300k for Johnny, so I'm actually going to go ahead and buy 5 more of these, and I will dump it back into items. Just because I want to go ahead and see as many items as I could possibly have dropping for me. Ideally, shields and money and experience. And so this is the final leg of the game. So we're in the final, in theory, half hour of the game. I realize it probably feels a little more grainy than it should be, but I did wipe twice, so I apologize for that. I'm not very good at video games, and I'm very sorry that all of that happened. So while that's going on, I know I mentioned already playing doing the music for this game, so I'm going to go ahead and shut up for a bit and allow the music that you have been hearing the entirety of the game to play, and hopefully you can enjoy it. Also, I'm going to take this opportunity to vape. Thank you very much. I'm sorry, I needed a lot of nicotine right there. It had been like 20 minutes, and I am a hopeless degenerate, so... That's where we at. Nefertiti, who the entire purpose of her plan here is to collect enough of those star fragments to be able to reopen a wormhole across all of space and time to be able to get back to her home planet. The problem is, her race and all of the other magical wish-granting races throughout there, well, they had a giant cloud that they would make a wish, and then the cloud would grant the wish. And so, you know, they would constantly war over what they want the planet to look like, and who can do things, and who wants what, and so on. And if they don't return to their planet occasionally, they die, which sucks. And she really, really wanted to go back home, because, you know, not dying is a big thing in a lot of video games. I wish I could attest to that right now, but we're going to move on anyways. Excuse me. So, she blew it. But while I was off firing firing on the firebolt, she did successfully manage to create a wormhole. She, like, destroyed a star and created a wormhole and managed to get back to where her home planet was. That's the good news. And then you followed her in through the wormhole. Bad news is her home planet is toast, and the giant cloud that was able to grant wishes to everybody that was wishing them has granted itself sentience, and really doesn't like the fact that everyone in existence has been making wishes and hoping for them to happen, and it's kind of vengeful, and wants to murder everything forever. So, plan number 3, after it has destroyed the planet entirely, where am I at? Johnny and Deadeye? Johnny and Deadeye, we did. I love it. Is, oh, by the way, she's the engineer now because Jenny got blown away. I'm sorry, she's pretty well dead. If she was your buddy and you liked talking to her, I kind of got bad news for you. And that bad news is, I'm sorry. I went 1 over on the mods, but that's not a huge problem. It's all sub-weapons I need right now. You have no sub-weapons, you turd burglar! What's my spread at? 35. 43 is alright, so I'm going to buy the 43. We move on to the remains of Lucerna. Now, the problem here, my chain weapon is tremendously low, and I just walked into the one stage where you really, really, really want to have a good chain weapon. So I might have just... Well, I didn't wipe the run, but that plus I don't have my overdrive available right this second is a really bad situation. It's not, you know, it's not game ending, it's not game breaking. What it is unfortunate. And we're actually fine now. Okay, good. As you can see, there's a bunch of asteroids that are going to be in the way of you just in general. You have to be able to take them out, which means you have to have lateral movement on a lot of things that are happening. So I can use the chain weapon, which, as you can see, hits everything that is kind of near me. Unfortunately, it really, really doesn't do a lot of damage, so I'm going to go ahead and use my overdrive right there, and then I'm going to swap back to the saw mines so that I can murder the things that are actually in my way from here. And I can go ahead and burn my shield, grab that, or I'm not going to grab that, game! Oh, come on, game! What are you doing to me? I need these anyways. Okay, so the overdrive is back. At least I can heal up with that and grab this for the shielding. Well, this is going off of the rails a bit, isn't it? I love it. Glad to be a part of it. Right, I did mention I shouldn't have immediately wandered into this stage, right? So I did anyways, because I'm clever. The more hit points that you have, or the more points that you've put into health, it allows your overdrive to recharge faster, which is good, but it also means that you kind of have to take damage. I don't want to have to, especially since everything hits really hard at this segment of the game. But we should be fine, because I should get another one on board before I fight Captain I Throw All of the Meteors at You. The mining ship. Who, yeah, I'm good. Okay, so the mining ship is the dude that had all of the meteors flying at me, and I have practically no life, so I'm probably going to have to use my overdrive pretty quickly to regenerate that and clear out. Because, I mean, you can see it's a little crazy like that. Just a bit. I'm invulnerable, that's cool. If I happen to take damage, there's a shield right there. I'm going to grab the shield. Well, okay, stop doing that. I don't have quite enough range. Oh, come on. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. This is getting insane. I don't have quite... Oh, there it was. There it was. I knew it was going to happen. It still happened. That was... Again, that was my bad. That's like a 3-minute time loss, so I apologize. I wanted to... There we go. I want that chain. That should be enough for me to be able to get through this. Because, again, you really don't want to be put in a situation where you have to be up close and personal with a lot of these things. And if we're talking about a 5% increase per level up on each weapon that you get, I was at level 3, and now I'm at 29. That's a 26 increase. I can't do math off the top of my head, but we're going to assume that's a fairly sizable increase in how fast I kill these things, especially since a lot of them are going to be beneath me, so we're probably way better off right now. Plus, I have my overdrive again, so if I run into trouble and run into stupid things, I will be able to heal myself up. Boy, this one's running off the rails pretty quickly. I haven't had a run this bad since... it's been like a year since I played this stupidly. Man, I was... pretty stupid then. I get hit in the head a lot, so, you know, hopefully it'll allot me a certain level of leeway in terms of how stupid I am versus how stupid I sound versus how stupid the gameplay is. And I would assume it's not that bad, because, you know, I'm not that stupid. The game's pretty well made. It's just, I tend to do things badly. So we're going to pretend that I was doing things better, just, you know, for the sake of my own pride, what little there is left. We're also going to be murdering these asteroids as I go, as you do when you have ideally a weapon that can actually do the job you wanted it to do before walking into the stage. I even called it in advance. Don't go into the stage with like anything below level 20. I didn't call that specific amount, but that's you don't go into the stage with anything other than like a level 20 chain. And I sure did. And I own it. That was me. That was all me. I was kind of hoping for maybe item drops, I don't know, against the boss, but that didn't happen. You'd have to have stupid huge amounts of offense on your saw mines, plus the bonus crit, plus a really good run against the meteorites he's throwing at you. And none of that panned out, and I built towards having a better defensive build, and I still blew it. So... I apologize to everyone watching. Hey, real quick, what was the amount that Dan donated again? It was what, 10? Yes? No? Yes? Anyone? I apologize. I feel like I'm an idiot because I have to ask, but I'm going to go ahead and ask. Go ahead and burn that now. Let's go ahead and do that. Let those shields rebuild a bit. There's a shield anyways. I love it. That's what I wanted when I was in trouble before. And there was the double Gradius. Ha ha! Science. I'm going to take that hit. It's whatever. We're good. We pretty well got it. We're good. Okay. If anybody happens to know, I would appreciate the telling, the whisper, the whatever. Okay, so after the mining ship, Nefertiti and Swig, we're good. Great. Weapons lab. I don't really care about most of this. It's the sub-weapons that I want. Scatter's great. Missiles are very low, but that takes care of missiles forever. V-bombs are nearly there, and bombs are done. We're good on those. I don't need them. I can walk right into what is appropriately called the Death Jungle, because why wouldn't you? So let's listen to the music in its entirety, I guess, while I take this opportunity to vape again, and I really wish I had grabbed some coffee prior to doing this, but I didn't, so we're going to go ahead and vape right now. Alright, that was fun. So anyways, as a friendly reminder to all of you watching, this is, as I said last year, and will continue to say again, this is Speed Stuff for Charity, which is a charity that is raising money to help Doctors Without Borders. So your donations are greatly appreciated, because it's Doctors Without Borders. You know what they do. Come on, what's wrong with you? Help out the Doctors Without the Borders. Come on, man. Come on. I mean, I'm gonna, after this. Did actually specifically budget money, specifically to be able to donate for this run. This run. Oh dear. So anyways, I keep not positioning myself correct, but I actually get that turret anyways. So I mean, yeah, whoever asked, like, I don't know, an hour ago, is this a bullet hell? No, but you can see it gets kind of crazy, and the fact that there's a lot of stuff that starts just kind of murdering you in a variety of ways it's bullet hell-ish. Plus, I try to do a little bit more in terms of weapon swapping, but that also plays into how many levels I have in those weapons, how effective they're going to be. Should I even bother using this weapon at all right this second? Probably not. We're going to go with it. But that's fine. Of course, I had to die in the previous stage and not, you know, this one, which is, well, it's the same living hard as before. It's coded to pull you in based off of speed, you know, if you're using the keyboard. It's still coded based off of the mouse, but because I'm at 15 speed, still nothing. So I'm going to go ahead and take this opportunity to grab my coffee, because this might take a while. So I'll be right back! I grabbed my coffee mug, I didn't grab my coffee. I am a terrible, terrible person, and I hate all the things. We're going to pretend that was intentional. Alright, so the boss is dead. Wow, that was a gold split. I would like to point out that I actually golded during this marathon. I'm very happy about what just happened. So, Nefertiti and Tessa. So this is the last Tessa dialogue where you finally decide, you know what, you're my adopted sister, but we've grown up forever. We're great, we're fine. You know, I don't know how you feel about me. Yeah, I love you, hey, great, that's awesome. And then, you know, he's putting the foot forward haphazardly, but then taking it back because kind of awkward. And then Nefertiti, who keeps stealing your lunches. Just go with it. New weapons? No, yes, no. Bombs. I'm good on bombs. I need V and really just V and then powering up other things. So I saw mine at 35. I'll take the what was that, 30%? I'll take that. That's good stuff. I do need a spread, and that's not bad. I'll take the spread. Alright, spread's done. Let's move on to the Forbidden City. I mean, it does go through the game quickly. And it goes through the game a lot quicker if you're not, you know, stupid like me. But we're going to pretend that I'm better at the game than I am. Like that, all that jazz. Here, this stage is the other one that really requires a lot of intellect to be able to get your shield recharge back up to snuff, but also a really, really good chain level. Oh no! Why, mouse? Why? Why would you do this to me? Sorry, I moved the mouse off screen, and it was like over here, and yeah, don't do that. There's a lot of walls. It's a bit of a maze, and that aura right there kinda lets you be able to see where the walls are, but not much. I mentioned it way earlier in the run, and I'm feeling the effects of it now. So this is a bit of a free opportunity to throw saw mines, and we're back. And saw mine for you, no you're dead, okay cool. So back to the chain. It's the bulk of the damage in this section because a lot of these guys are doing a lot of damage, and there's a lot of tight corridors that you can't really fire up or down in. And there are feats that you can take. There's upshot, or whatever, vertical shot, and then there's a rear shot that allows you to fire behind you and above you and other things of that nature. But they're tremendously situational. I mean, they're really, really good. If you level up the necessary weaponry to use them effectively, and then find yourself in, like, these stages, and then you can also then start tooling around with them on bosses that are going to be above you or below you, like the Submersible or occasionally the Crystal Dragon. So you can start murdering things in ways that you shouldn't be murdering them. And that's pretty fun like that. But by and large, I feel that you could, you know, reset stages a couple times to get a better chain weapon, and you're probably better off. It's the consistency versus the fast, and more often than not I'll go for the fast, but I'm going to go ahead and take the consistency here. Now this boss is interesting, and it's why I wanted to have a better laser than I do, and I don't, so we're just going to have to deal with it. So this guy, same as before, bullet spread, plus also now he has a giant bullet flying at you. So I'm going to try to dodge the bullet spread, drag that bullet forward, back up a lot and use the laser, try to dodge those bullets as I'm flying at them, and then dodge back with the laser again. So you can kind of see the pattern. If I run into trouble, I have the overdrive available. Oh, that was not pretty. I should not... Okay, I'm just going to use the overdrive. Okay, there we go. Last skill, defensive shielding. Applies all of those points that I put into health also towards my shielding, which is ridiculous. So now I'm a defensive monster, and I also have big crit damage, and okay offense and agility. Which is, you know, the style of the time. Nefertiti and... Oh, balls, where am I at? I actually forgot to skip ahead. Nefertiti and Mare! Nefertiti and Mare. I did this yesterday. I need to learn this lesson now. Okay, because I skipped Mare yesterday. I don't want to skip Mare this time. I blew it on Jenny. That's fine. I accept that. I'm okay with this. Can I outpace... 49 on the spread, so my overdrive is not doing a huge amount of damage, and that's kind of annoying. Oh, that sucks. Because there's also no... Well, there's a scatter, but it's only a 43, so I guess I'll take the scatter. The laser is kind of a moot point. I'm not going to be able to boost it up to the point where it's truly viable, so I'm just going to go with Saw Mines and spread some more. Yes, Commander Waifu, thank you, me out. I'm glad to see some of you out here for this. I am glad. It's good to see some folks, some of the regulars, showing up for this. Showing up and being like, yes, I'll be here. I'll see the run. It'll be great. And I've got a couple more runs coming up later today. And after this, by the way, stick around. Because if you want some of them that are truly stellar, amazing games that some of y'all might actually remember because you might have played them, stick around for some Super Mario. My God, that sentence got away from me. Stick around for some Super Mario Sunshine. I actually forgot the name of the runner. I'm really sorry. I looked at it and I was like, oh yeah, Super Mario Sunshine. That's awesome. And that's all I focused on. But that's coming up next. Please stick around for that. Super Mario Sunshine is always a great run. Please watch that. And then, you know, like an hour or two after that, I do some more junk that is hopefully going to go better than this. Not necessarily junk per se, but, you know, hopefully it'll be a little more smooth than this. But yeah, stick around. It'll be great. And also, once again, as your friendly reminder, this is for Doctors Without Borders. You know, they're kind of important. You know, they're doctors. They help everyone across the world. You know, regardless of political agenda or, you know, location. So, you know, help them out, brother. They've been at this for a bit, you know. Go help them out. They're good people. So that's what's going on. That's what's happening. Did I cover Nefertiti at all? How she, you know, she's the Commander Waifu bad guy, as Mia likes to call her. She's the bad guy. She was the one commandering the, we'll go with it, the capital ship. She was looking to get her hands on enough of the star fragments, and you found out that there were enough star fragments on your ship that you were able to power up Jenny to the point where she thought she could take on Nefertiti. She had 3 of the 7 star fragments. However, Ifriti had 4 of them, and Ifriti are naturally more powerful than the Jenny. So she kind of just got kind of destroyed anyways. Which is, you know, as you do when you're wildly overmatched and then quadratic formulas come into the situation. So that's what happened there, and then she got, like, blown away to a far-off universe, just by and large. Oh my God, really, mouse? You couldn't see it, but I was trying to go up and away. It's every 4th attack, and it does that, but the game decided, nope, I'm gonna throw you at the thing. There's another 3 minutes. Again, I apologize. I mean, like, hot damn. What am I at, like, 15 minutes over? That's pretty much the estimate at this point. Because, I mean, ideally, I'll finish this in the next few stages, and it'll be $1.45, and that'll be the run. So that means I'm not even going to be able to provide you with a dramatic reading of the ending of choice. It'll just be a, well, I apologize, I guess you're going to have to go play the game to see the endings yourself. I guess, what a crime, right? Which really, you know, go play the game on Congregate anyways. Or, you know, or Armor Games or Newgrounds. It's a good game. You should go give it a shot. It's good stuff. Again, 2 million people, and like a lot of the comments for this game are, Yeah, I remember coming back to this game like a couple years later, and it still holds up. It's still great. I still love playing it. Fantastic job. When's the sequel? To which Dan still hasn't given a response to that. But that's fair. I mean, you don't pressure somebody on a sequel for something like this. Come on, man. You know, get it to Steam first. Which, by the way, when's it going to be on Steam, Dan? Honestly, man. What are you doing to me here? I apologize. I know that's one of those. Come on, man. Don't. Why you gotta go there? So I shouldn't go there. So I'm not gonna go there. The question is out there, but it doesn't need to be answered. It's fine. We're good. How are you? I'm fine. Thanks for asking. What are you talking about? I cannot believe it's 4 rounds of the tri-beam, then move up, and I moved the mouse a little bit too far to the left. So the mouse is like, oh, go all the way left. No, go up, go up, go up, go up, go up. And it tried to recorrect just a little bit too late. Another reason why you don't want to use your overdrive too early in runs, because that ain't pretty. Don't do that. So yeah, don't do that. Actually, I guess I'm just the 10 minutes over at this point because I didn't reset the timer. So we're only 10 minutes over in theory right this second, but I would prefer to not continue to fail this badly at it. So we're gonna pretend that I didn't and just go with it, right? That's the plan here. So I'm gonna fight this boss hopefully correctly this time. Again, his eyes are invulnerable, so you can't actually take them out, unfortunately. So you just have to fight the boss like normal, not like that. Don't take bullets. Bullets are the bad. There it is. See, that time we got it. All right. And I could have been doing more saw mine damage, but I flew into a bullet. That was smart. Why do I keep doing that? Why am I doing all of the dumb things? Alright, we're only 10, nearly 11 minutes over. I apologize. I also wanted to take that opportunity to vape. Alright, Neferidi and Deadeye. Neferidi and Deadeye. Nice. Oh, by the way, her real name is Deadeye. Don't read into that. Just go with it. We're mostly done on weaponry. Saw mines are alright, but that's only a +1. Oh, that's a lot. I want that. I want that a lot. That's a really good spread, but it's only a +1, so I'm not going to bother. I'll eventually worry about the mods when I get to that point, but I'm not going to worry about it right now. So, next stage, Eternal Swamp, which is conveniently a stage that has no, there's no, foliage. There's no flora and fauna. It is just enemies all day. So, as dumb as that sounds, that means just murder all of the things. So sometimes, in an attempt to be creative, I would imagine, or at least, interesting with the enemy placement, there are a lot of those mines, there are enemies that appear behind the enemies with a lot of life, and they're hardier than you would expect, so they wind up just sitting there and absorbing a lot of your damage, which means that the guys behind them are pot-shotting you all day, as you would expect, because that's what they do, and that's fine. But I'm not going to deal with that because I still have the saw mines, which still affords me the ability to do this to all of these things that are coming at me. So here comes the walls, if you will. There's a wall, and that guy's a wall. Everything's a wall. And I mean, they're annoying. They have bullets. Of course they do. But eventually, yeah, those guys start appearing behind them. I can avoid that laser. I can go ahead and take out this plane fairly quickly. I can take out the planes that appear behind them, too. You might already say that I am the anti-Ari plane. Hey, I apologize for that. Ari plane actually made a game that was in HEDQ, the Snailiad game, which is good stuff. It was like 20 minutes long, but also did the music for that game, and also did the music for this game. I'm gonna swap back to the chain. If those of you or anybody happens to be interested, in the music for this game, because it's a great soundtrack, and I listen to it every Thursday without fail at about noon. I don't know, I'm a creature of habit, and that's what I do. It's a good soundtrack. There are also tracks that were for stages that didn't get added into the game. I am not entirely sure why, and I'm going to have to write an angry letter to the creator of this game as to why that didn't happen. If only I could talk to them in person, like maybe in my chat. Anyways, why those audio tracks didn't wind up into the game? I am curious because they're good, they're catchy. The Future Zone and whatever the other one was, I don't remember those specific titles. I could hum them for me, for me or for anyone else. If I needed to, I just, you know, not gonna. So, version 3 of the Wisp is more of the same, more bullets. He also does an AoE thing occasionally. As you can see, I took a hit, but that's fine. We're good here. I actually saved about 3 minutes on the boss, so we might make up some of this time towards the estimate, which is great. Where am I at? Swamp, Neferiti? Just Neferiti? Cool. We're going to move on then. Weapons, saw mines, that's not a huge increase. Chain, I don't really need anymore. We're good on chain. Scatter. That's a pretty good scatter. I'll take it. Do I need the V-bombs? I'm over on a lot of the other things, so I don't need the scatter. Honestly, if anything, between the chain, which is largely useless from this point, and the saw mines, I'll take the saw mines. I'll buy a couple of these. Gets me to that. Let's go. Let's just boost shields all the way up. We move on to the ocean, the maelstrom, if you will, which again. This is where you fight the submersible again, but I fly really slow now, because apparently I'm really far underwater. But I have my, my overdrive button ready to go, so I'm good on that front, and, I don't know, other things that, are worth mentioning, I guess. So, I don't know, does anybody have any questions about the game or about in general? Like, outside of the plot, I really don't want to start spoiling, like, a bunch of major things here, right? I'm kind of like, if you want to see, like, larger sections of the plot or the game, it's a really good read. I mean, yes, it's 60,000 words. It's pretty much a novel, but pretty soon, into playing the game, you'll be like, I actually want to just tear through these stages so I can get back to the plot. I want to talk to the people and see what they have to say about all these cool things and their various interactions. And that's, I mean, it's fun like that. It's a testament to the writer, to where you're like, yes, I want to hurry up and get through the other junk so I can continue reading what you have these people saying. And I like it. I respect it. It's one of the 2 games that I will willingly say, this is a good game that I speedrun. I don't know, because there's a lot of interesting little things that you can do in the speedrun. There's so many different ways that you can build your ship that are pretty much all effective, outside of agility, which is pretty much a dump stat. I'm sorry, Dan. I know. We've already had this conversation. Agility is a dump stat. I know. Please don't judge me. But outside of that, it's a good read. It's a fun game. There's hardly any way to truly go wrong, but failing that thought process, there are a lot of guides online that are like, do this, and don't let the speedrun here sway you, especially since I kind of died a couple of times. Don't let it leather you, don't let it sway you, don't let it do anything to you. Because I'm building towards safety, and I still kind of blew it, but that happens just occasionally in this run. More often than not, what'll happen is I'll build towards offense, and more offense, and let's do something different, maybe a little bit more offense, and that winds up kind of biting me in the butt. But, you know, we're working on it. We're getting there. We're working on it. We're trying to do a little bit better. We're trying to be less stupid, by and large. So, as you can see, I move a lot slower, so I have to start moving ahead of this guy a lot faster. But I'm trying to dump bombs into him, drop him down below, move up above. I might not even have to use my overdrive. That was nice. I like that. That time I wasn't a gold. I actually lost 8 seconds. Possibly because I was yapping. That's fine. That's fair. Cafe, Neferiti? Neferiti. So we talked to Neferiti again. Because that's what you do. Because the engineer has things she wants to say to you. That's a decent upgrade as well. And the missiles aren't bad. They're really good damage. They really are. So I'm gonna, why not? Absolute zero. Because, of course it is. This is the last opportunity, really, for me to be using the chain, and now I realize I probably should have gotten that chain while it was there, because this is a lot of tight walls and stupid maze-like mechanics. It's not a problem. I mean, worst comes to worst, you can kind of half-gradius skip your way through some of these walls. You don't wanna, but if it comes to that, you can do it and survive, and you won't die. Especially with enough luck, where shields like that will appear, in which case you're fine, but, I mean, backtracking to try and grab that shield is not a good scene, so don't do what Donnie Don't does. Man, they really should have worded this better. So yes. I'm rapidly running out of things to say, so I'm going to swap on the chain weapon and take this opportunity to vape some more. Well, that was fun. Now let's go back to murdering things. I really should have gone back for that shield, too. That was kind of dumb. Because that's a lot of damage I'm taking right here, and I really probably Okay, good, I got a shield. Okay. Because that was a lot of damage to take right there, and I didn't want to be in that situation, but I was in that situation, so you just kind of have to go with it. I launched a couple of saw mines right there to take out some of those asteroids in advance, just in case I don't have a good enough chain. And right this second, I don't have a good enough chain. And I take the middle just because I can take out the things that are above, as well as anything that might be occurring below, plus all the things that are going to be just appearing just in general. And I probably, with as much life as I have, I'm actually going to do it. I'm going to do that to get the extra 10%, and I'm going to grab both of those. Very nice. I'm actually doing very well on the overdrive rebuild. Bounce against a wall for a good amount right there. I'm not back to full. Grab that shield. Grab the shield. Thank you. I'm not going to have enough for the boss. Okay, I'll take like a couple hits on the boss, and I'll be back at full on the overdrive. And I should maybe be able to survive this. I've lost a lot of speed. Okay, I was not good. Okay, so that was the incorrect decision on my part. So there is minus 3 minutes. As per usual, I'm sorry. Okay, that was me biting off more than I could chew, and I accept that. I accept that. I own that. That is on me. There was no chain yet again, so I'm just going to buy whatever yet again, and we're going to go with it. I hope you guys really like these stages, because we're back in it. At least I didn't use the overdrive. The downside to trying to rebuild it right before a boss is that, well, you're probably going to get your butt kicked, as I did. And then also, you know, the fun times of, well, I'm going to get 10% of my health back, but he's going to take 20% off with a hit. Imagine if I wasn't dumping a bunch into my health. Just think about that for a second, and then stop thinking about that for a second, because that hurts my poor brain. My brain. Let's go ahead and murder this shield in front of me, because he also fires bullets. Get him! Get him! Grab her. It's your whole plan, right? Alright, so back to the AoE. Actually take these out first so I don't panic about hitting those in front of me. And then back to the... Stop hitting the wall, you mook! Oh my god! Okay, take him out too. Alright, we're good. In theory, swap back to the saw mines. Okay. I realize this is just, hey, look at me, I'm just narrating all the little things that I'm doing right now, as opposed to talking about, you know, important things in the game, but, crunch time. We're nearing the end, and I'm playing like a moron. I apologize. I should stop doing that. I'm just gonna eat that laser right to the face. I hope you all accept the fact that I'm okay with this. I'm not, but I'm going to go ahead and eat that laser to the face. There's my shield. That's fine. I'll murder all of these things. Oh dear. Oh dear. Okay. No, we're good. We're back. We're back. Stop running into walls. You don't need to run into walls anymore. Sad face. So anyways. So to answer somebody's question from a very long time ago, is this a bullet hell? Yes, but no, but yes. I mean, it's not your traditional bullet hell, but it is definitely bullet hell-ish. It is hellish enough to make you go, why? And then you die. So, alright. Crystal Dragon, once again, triple bullets, plus he flies at you. I don't want to get low on health because then I move slower. It's very annoying like that, and I'd prefer to not have that happen. Plus, I need to be looking above to make sure I'm dodging stalactites and dodging the boss. That was really stupid of me. My speed runs are butts. What are you talking about? Wow, the lucky miss. Oh my god. Oh my god, just use it right now. I don't even care. Just frickin' rebuild that shield. Please get past this boss. Oh my god. Okay, thank you. And we're back to nearly 11 minutes over. I'm special. Ha! Where am I at? Was that that was the Maelstrom? I've completely lost. No, it was Icicle. Neferidi and Mare. Neferidi and Mare. Thank goodness. Oh my goodness. Saw mines. Mine's at 57. That's not enough, but that's not enough scatter either. What's my highest level weapon? Is it the saw mines? It is. So my overdrive isn't doing a huge amount. I could boost it by grabbing that wave. I mean, I will. I need 350k for the next Johnny. And yeah, we'll be fine from there. Okay, so dump it all into life. I don't even care anymore. We're going life. All right, I freaking need the life. I mean, it wasn't. It was close to being a bullet hell. It was more along the lines of me just being dumb. That's pretty much it. And I own that. I appreciate that. You know, it's me being the stupid. It happens the sometimes. I'm very good with the words. Why you gotta the judge? Don't read into my sentences. Please. Please don't. So after this is the final occurrence of the Angry Router of Doom, also known as the Monolith. So you fight this dude, which this guy has my favorite bonus additional special maneuver in the game. So we fought this guy twice. He has a big box that has a rotating hitbox, the little green orb that you have to shoot. It's amazing and I love it, right? So I hang back and I use the spread gun. So normally he is a semi-stationary box that you just kind of try to hit things on him until he eventually dies. And you have to dodge lasers. So this version, you know what, I'm not even going to spoil it. I kind of want to say what's coming in advance. I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to say you're going to love what's about to happen. It is so amazing. I can't even talk about it. You're just going to see it. Just keep in mind, the Angry Router of Doom gets an upgrade, and it's not what you would think. Because a game like this, you're thinking, what, does he get more lasers? No. Does he get more bullets? No. Does he get drones? No. What does he get? You'll see. And it's amazing. It is just amazing. So many shields. You want me to rebuild it, don't you? I'm not going to get there in time. Oh my god, grab the shield. Why did you do that to me? So yeah, you're gonna see it. It's gonna be amazing and impressive and wonderful and all of the awesome. And I hope I don't wipe against this boss. I mean, it's possible, but I thought I don't, right? So what's my spread at? 54 is pretty good. So here's the Monolith yet again. Same rotating stuff, same lasers as usual. By the way, he has a sword! He has a sword! You are now fighting an enemy that occasionally tries to stab you with a big giant sword. I'm sorry. That's amazing. I loved it when I read about it. I loved it when I saw it. It's amazing. What are you doing? Oh, I don't know. I'm fighting a giant router in space that has a sword. It is so great. It is just amazing. I love the fact that Dan put it in the game. I mean, you can go all the way up to the top of the screen so that you can see full sword and hilt and everything. I love it. Oh, and you can bet your ass that that sword will kick your ass. Yes, I know I'm swearing. I apologize. It's ass. I know. It's a lesser grade. You could say that on like CBS, right? They say that on like The Big Bang Theory. It's allowed in primetime. I'm going that route. I apologize. Anyways, so there it was. We are now ready for the final boss. So there it is. And these are the last two. So outside of Jenny, we have all of the endings unlocked. I apologize. I mean, you're not wrong. That is Cloud's sword. Oh, wow. That's like perfect for those right there, isn't it? So any last money that I have, I'm going to grab some of those. I don't need experience. I don't need moolah. I don't need items. Those are maxed out. I don't really need regen anymore because a 5 against the 48 is kind of silly. So we're going to go 1, 2. That looks pretty good. I've got over 4,000 hit points. Let's do this! Let us do this! So we are now fighting the incarnate of desire and hopes and dreams. It is, and this is, keep in mind, just the face of it. The entirety of my ship's armada and everybody else is fighting all of the rest of it. Oh, we finally get a different boss music. Please enjoy this music. Oh, I'm going to fly into that bullet. That was awesome. I love everything. Ow. Oh, and the best part of all of this is that this particular boss has his own overdrive. That's right. This dude gets to chuck the big pinkish red white beam of death. There. Oh, it's his purple. I'm sorry. Purple beam of death at me. It's amazing, and I love the fact that they gave this boss the overdrive. So, the general strat is try to avoid the lasers, try to avoid the bullets, kill what you can, fly back in, do as much damage towards that weak spot-ish he has in front of him, and swap towards something that has a longer range and hide back in this corner. You can try to use the chain if you were willing to get up close near him, and then use that to take out the drones in front of him and also his face, but that's not panning out for me right now, so I'm hoping I don't wipe, because I would really like to be able to try and get this in one shot. By the way, the end of this run is when I click return to ship after the boss. We're probably coming up on that time, so whoever is watching the timer, please tell me you're available. Time! Oh, wow. That was horrendous. That was 9 minutes over. Oh, that was bad. I'm so very sorry for that. And as far over as we are, I would imagine I probably have to just go ahead and just cut out from here right now. But to confirm, I have all of the endings except for that would be Ginny right there. And this would actually be replaced with the super secret ending. But I blew it. So I apologize.